Squirrels, today's guest on Blind Squirrel Talk, famous in this small town, is Mark Garrison. Born and raised in Maysville, Georgia, this influential musician will share stories of growing up in a small town, as well as insights into the music world and the people he's met along the way. His story is inspiring and exciting. We hope you enjoy a brief look into his amazing life, and there is no doubt you will love hearing him perform one of his many songs. We hope you enjoy meeting Mark Garrison. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Blind Squirrel Talk. I'm Lulu.
I'm Kim.
And this is Mark Garrison, and we're so thankful for you being here today, and everybody's going to love this show. They are. So Mark lives here in Maysville, and how long have you lived in Maysville?
20-something years since I moved back from Tennessee. I went to Maysville Elementary, and then started going to Jefferson High School. But anyway, so I've been here all my life except for 10 years of it.
Yeah, so you've seen everything that's ever happened in Maysville.
Yep.
There you go.
So there must have been something that brought you back. I mean, if you left and then came back, you must love it here.
Well, I love Tennessee, and I never thought when we moved up there, I never thought that I'd ever move back. Mm-hmm. And what caused us to move back was, I lost my grandfather when we were there, and I thought, my parents and my grandparents and my family there, I know they're going to be leaving us. Mm-hmm. And
that's so admirable. It really is. Yeah. I mean, to want to be with your family.
Well, we were always, our family was a tight unit and everybody,
That's good. It's good to teach your kids that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, we decided to move back, and it took me a long time to adjust being back, because there's something about Tennessee that, there's just something about it. And I loved my job I had up there to start with, one thing, and I left that, but we moved back and been here ever since.
So what took you to Tennessee? Like, how did you, okay, I'm leaving Maysville, going to Tennessee. Was it a job or just?
Well, it was music.
Okay.
I played around here locally for years, and then T. Graham Brown moved to Nashville, got a record deal. I got in touch with him. He said, "Man, this is where you need to be." So he kind of coaxed me into moving up. So my wife, Donna, she was working with Security Finance here in Commerce, and she put in for a transfer, and they were opening up an office in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Wow.
And so she got the transfer, and that was
the catalyst.
Yeah, that was the catalyst that moved us up there.
Yeah.
And just one thing led to another. Ended up working for Reba McEntire the last 5 years I was up there, and best job I ever had. And that was one reason. That was a hard, thing to leave, to move back here, but we did it. And anyway.
Are you glad you did?
Move back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned that everything that happens in a person's life, whether they realize it or not, has actually been ordained,
Mm-hmm.
And so I just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we're glad you're back, because I, for one, didn't hear you till last year, but you are a phenomenal musician.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I love when you play with your full band and with your wife, who is also quite talented, and I'm jealous that she can play after just picking up her instrument a few years ago.
Yeah, she's doing really good.
And you two make a great team, and I love it.
Yeah. I love watching it. Y'all just have
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you're husband and wife, so I guess there's a synergy there. But
Yeah.
I mean, y'all look like y'all been playing together forever.
Yeah, well, we have in one aspect or the other.
No, your whole family's musical, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
your whole family's musical.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing and a curse.
Tell us about that.
Well, artistic people think from a different side of the brain than most people do.
That's
and,
true.
It's a side of the brain that is more emotional, more in touch with your emotions, and so being that, there's a little bit more drama, you know, a little bit more.
It's
It's a little bit more chaotic.
there you go.
Yeah, because it's more freelance and more expression than, you know, laws and rules and, you know, that side of the brain.
Like every emotion is more intense with the
Right.
artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It can
heightened.
be volatile. I mean, not
Yeah.
not in a bad way,
Right.
but you know what I mean.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, in a bad way.
So do you write songs as well?
Yep. I do. When I first moved to Nashville, I wrote a song called You Go Your Way, I'll Go Mine. And in Nashville back then, they had WSIX was the big FM country station in Nashville. And every day, what was his name? The DJ, the morning DJ. I can't remember his name now, but anyway, they would play a daily double.
Oh,
And so I went in a studio and recorded it, and they played it on the Daily Double one day, and this is when I was working for Reba, and I was and what I did for her was I worked at her estate doing grounds and maintenance, you know, which is, you know, when people hear I did that, they kind of, oh, okay. You know, it's less glamorous. You know. But anyway, I enjoyed it, and I was out at the maintenance shed when they played it, and we had walkie-talkies, you know, me and Jim, and they had one at the house, Rose, which was Jim's wife, that she was the housekeeper. Reba got on the walkie-talkie and said, "Mark, they're playing your song on the radio."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aw. Aw.
I used to do some singing demos for a publishing company in Nashville, and then I was in Reba's kitchen one morning. She said, "Mark, we're getting ready to go in the studio. You got anything you want to pitch in with us?" And I said, "Well, nah, I don't know. I've written an album's worth of gospel stuff." And she said, "Well, if you got it ready, so we can go shop you a deal." You know.
Over the kitchen table.
Over the kitchen table, yeah.
And what'd you
And
say?
I said, "I don't know if that's what I want to do anymore," because at the time, well, I thought I was going to Nashville to make it big in country music, make it big in the music business. And all the time, I was going to Nashville to have an encounter with God. And that's the whole reason I was there, because I went to work for Reba, and then this other guy at the same time went to work painting her horse barn they were building. And he was a man of God. And I'd been searching for, because I'd always thought, man, there's got to be more than what this is all about. There's got to be more. And I'd always been searching that, you know. And this guy, when he started talking, I said, yeah.
He's got something I want.
And it scared me to death, but at the same time, you know, my heart was leaping, because I knew he was speaking truth that I've been searching for, you know. And anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that.
No, I'm fascinated. Keep going. I'm like, okay, tell me more.
So, when all that come about, I realized that I've been obsessed with music all my life. And that's all I dreamed about. It's all I thought about all day long. And when God, I guess, knocked me off my donkey, I started seeing things differently, you know, and that's why I told Reba, I said, "Nah, I don't know if that's what I want to do anymore," you know.
Do you still stay in touch with her?
I haven't been in touch with her in a long time.
She
Did
sounds
for a
like
while.
an amazing lady.
Yeah.
She, well, when people would come, you know, when they found out where she lived, you know, the tour buses would come, you know, and people just drive up, and there's always people around the front gates and all. And sometimes I'd be out there working, and people ask me, what's Reba like? And so I had a pat answer. I'd say, she's down home, it's pinto beans and cornbread, because I knew they would know what I was talking about. Well, one day, we were at the house, and Reba was there, and she wanted to cook lunch for us. And you know what she cooked?
Pinto beans and cornbread.
Pinto beans and cornbread. So I don't know if it got back to her, or what. I don't think it did, but it was just, I thought, man, that's
Pretty cool.
funny. Yeah, it was funny.
I know
Cornbread left a little bit to be desired, because she's from Oklahoma.
she don't have.
She don't know how to make it our way.
cornbread. No, but yeah, it was. That was.
I'm sure the pinto beans were delicious.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
Wow. So how did you tell her you're going home?
Well, I actually told Marble, her husband at the time, and her manager. I broke it to him first,
Yeah.
and then he told Reuben, and they were building Starstruck Studios downtown Nashville, and I being a painter myself, they sent me down there to help do the painting, and the last day I was there, Reba was there in the studio. They had come out there that evening, and she was looking at the studio, and I told her that night, and all.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was bittersweet.
Yeah, I'm
thing,
sure. I'm sure. So did you have your kids up there during this time, or?
We had Amber. She was born in Georgia before we left, and then Matthew was born in Tennessee, and then Hannah was born, and then Seth, our youngest, he was born after we moved back to Georgia. And Seth, he's living in Nashville now, and he's working for Jason Isbell.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
How did that come to be? That he gets with Jason Isbell.
He was working at the Georgia Theater, running monitors and helping with sound, and Jason Isbell was, doing a show there, and so they put Seth as Jason's concierge.
Concierge.
Yeah.
that.
Fancy word. Anyway, Jason gave Seth his credit card, and whatever Jason needed, he went and rented a vehicle for Jason. Whatever Jason needed, Seth would go get, for the band or him or whatever. And so after that, Jason's manager got back in touch with Seth and offered him a job because Jason said, I like that kid.
Wow.
So they offered Seth a job doing that for Jason on the road. And
That's so cool.
but the first time around, they were getting ready to put him on, and he was going to have to be renting vehicles, to chauffeur Jason around and do whatever, and he was too young for the
To rent
insurance.
a car. Wow.
So,
Wow.
it broke his heart, and but then it rolled around again to where this Emily, I can't remember her last name. Anyway, she was working at the Georgia Theater at the same time Seth was. Well, she went to work for Jason. And so the next year, when Seth was old enough, then Emily got in touch with Seth and said,
Come on.
Jason still wants you to come to work for him,
Aw,
something like that.
yeah.
He left an impression.
Yeah, and so there, he goes out with them on tour, and he's got everything lined up where when they get to a venue, there's a rental vehicle sitting there waiting, and they'll go to the hotel or go to the venue, or if Jason wants to go here or there, that Seth does that, and then he does assistant tour manager stuff, you know, backstage, you know, all this stuff. Just whatever needs to be done. Assess the man.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Okay, and the other kids, what are they doing?
Well, my oldest son, Matthew, he just moved to Tallahassee, and he's in audio video engineer. Well, he does troubleshooting, he does installs. He went to work he was working for a company in Athens, and he was working in Tallahassee, and he liked the vibe and he liked the area. So they went down there looking for a house.
Tallahassee's a neat city.
It is.
I mean, it really is.
It is.
When I moved back to Georgia, I was trying to figure out what am I going to do for a living. Well, I drove a truck, you know, in my earlier years, because that was always a dream of mine. When I was a kid, we'd always go over 85, and I'd see these trucks. I thought, man, I'd love to drive one of those one day. So that's what I started back doing when we moved back to Georgia, and I got to go to Tallahassee a lot, and yeah, I liked it, liked the area, and we'd go to St. George Island every summer since the 90s, you know, and so we'd go through when we moved back to Georgia, we'd go through Tallahassee, you know, to go to St. George. So anyway, yeah, it's a neat area.
It's pretty. All right, and the daughter that sings like a bird.
Yes.
Yeah, she's.
Where did that voice come from?
I don't know. We were Corey Smith got us Blue Billy Grip, the bluegrass band I'm in. And back a few years ago, it was Corey's grandparents' anniversary. And so he got us to come out to play for their anniversary. And Corey's dad, Tommy Smith, all right, we used to play together years ago in a band called Smoke. And anyway, Tommy, he was there, and he heard Amber sing, and he said, I think she got one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard.
She does.
You know.
She does.
And anyway, yeah, she don't like being on stage. She likes being a mom.
Yeah.
She's got 2 boys, and she likes raising her boys and being a wife, being a mom. And you know, I'm thinking, golly, what a waste, you know, because she.
Oh, it's angelic.
Yeah.
It's angelic.
And but at the same time, you know, I'm thinking, knowing how vicious and cutthroat the music business is, you know, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm glad she's not a part of that. Even though she could be, you know, I'm glad she's not a part of it, you know.
Yeah.
And how admirable for her to put so much energy into being a mom. But I do love to listen to her because she does have the most beautiful voice. I wish I had some of that.
All right, so growing up in Maysville, I think, what is this, the 55th year? How many years of Maysville Festival been going on? 57. Okay, 57 years. I'm sure you saw your share of festivals. Tell us what your fondest memory is of the Maysville Autumn Leaf Festival.
Well,
or good memories and bad. Either way.
Well, we actually, as far as singing and playing and getting started musically, the Maysville Autumn Leaf Festival had a lot to do with it.
Okay.
'Cause that's some of our earliest exposure to performing in public, you know. So it had a lot to do with it. And, you know, as far as me and my brothers and my sisters, you know, at an early age. And
Did you play with them, your siblings?
yeah, we had I guess you'd call it a family band. And we would play at the festival. And then my daddy, he was a fiddle player. And he would join in with us, you know.
That's awesome.
And actually, I went to Maysville Elementary, and I think I was in the 4th grade, and they were going to have a talent show.
Oh.
And so I was exposed because my dad was a fiddle player, my uncle played guitar, and then there was 2 other guys that would come to the house on Saturday nights, and they would make music. And I would just sit and listen, you know. And so that exposed me to music. And when I got in elementary school, I was singing. I'd get up in front of the class and I'd sing, you know. And I remember Jerry Baker. You know, we were in the same class together in the 3rd grade, and we would get up. We'd have anybody that wanted to get up and, you know, share a story or sing or whatever. Miss Kane would let us do it, you know. And we'd get up and sing. And I remember Jerry Baker, he'd always get up and sing. 409, 409. Positive Traction is a Beach Boys song.
Yeah.
He'd get up and sing that every time.
Oh.
And
now he's a preacher.
now he's a preacher.
Yeah.
And was once the mayor of Maysville.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of Maysville festivals, and they were always a big deal. And I hope, you know, it can continue to be. I know it's dwindled and it's not what it used to be, but it's still, you know, a big part of the history of Maysville, the community.
Right, and people
know.
look forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the families look forward to
Yeah.
it. I mean, the parade's a big deal.
It is.
Parade is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay, so tell us about where you're playing now, what you're doing, what's your future with music, what's your future in Maysville. Tell us what the future holds for Mark Garrison.
Well, me and my wife, you know, we're playing the duo thing, and we're booked every weekend till the end of the
You
year.
become stars.
I know. You
Well,
really have.
Yeah.
You're
People
booked
watch you.
you're booked every weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till the end of the year, and then we're starting to book for next year. And you know, it's everywhere we play, people say, "Wow, y'all are great!" And all it is me singing, my wife playing bass, and me guitar, and
But it is great.
It is.
and she's singing more and more, and I'm harmonizing,
heard that.
you know, with that, and you know, so I guess like you said, we've got some kind of chemistry that people
Like,
pick up on and like, you know.
and want.
So, yeah.
They want, yeah.
So I'm enjoying it as much as anything I've done so far, you know. And I hope it, you know, we're not young anymore, but we're going to do it as long as, you know, we're able to. We're going this weekend to Murphy, North Carolina. We'll be playing 2 nights up there.
Yeah.
We rented Airbnb, and I'm retired. She's semi-retired. So we're just enjoying living the dream, you know. And as far as the future, I've been recording what I call outlaw gospel music. I've been recording it
love that.
at Lee's studio and getting ready. It's been a long time in the making, but I'm getting ready to finally start releasing that stuff.
Good.
And but timing is everything. I mean, the time we're in, you know, there's so much negativity, you know, and so, but at the same time, you know, people are, well, we're not going to get political, but people are, they're seeing that, hey, there's a whole lot more to, you know, what's going on than we've ever realized. And
Right.
as far as their spiritual lives, their
Right.
religion, and all of that, you know. It's, you know, it's, people are scared, you know, people are confused, but to me, it's an interesting time to be alive, you know, because things are happening on a spiritual level, that, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, tell us before we go any further, your duo with your wife is called Railtown,
Railtown,
Okay.
yep.
and we can find you on.
We're on Facebook. We got a railtownbandzoogle.com. It's a website. You know, we got videos up. You know, some pictures, set list.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, I can't wait to see you again. I hope you come play here soon.
Actually, we're going to make him play now, if you will. Will you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I brought my guitar because I didn't know whether I would
Yes,
know.
we want you to.
We want you
to.
We want you to. So y'all get ready to be entertained by Mark Garrison and come out and see him in Real Town.
We're so happy Mark came to see us today.
Yes. All right.
Well, let me
See you
go
in a
get my
minute.
guitar. This is a little song I wrote about this town called Maysville, Georgia. Well, it just takes a minute to drive straight through town. If you blink twice, you'll miss the whole thing. We had a red light till a truck knocked it down. We got a church bell that no longer rings. We got some old buildings in need of repair. We got a brand new Dollar General store. And only two places if you need some gas. And the diner ain't here anymore. We got a florist with no flowers. You're out of luck if you die. We got a bank with no money to loan. A jail with no bars, a saloon with no beer. This town ain't got much but its home. Now my grandpa told me when he was a kid, this town was the biggest he'd seen. 3 banks, a hotel, and 2 cotton gins. It was back when the cotton was king. But the money dried up when the boll weevil came, and the town folk, they just moved away. But we still got the railroad through the middle of town, and the train still comes through twice a day. We got a florist with no flowers. You're out of luck if you die. We got a bank with no money to loan. A jail with no bars. A saloon with no beer. This town ain't got much but its home. Now you can keep your big city with all that it has, the pollution, crime, and the fear. I'll keep my small town with all that it's not, 'cause all that I need is right here. We're the florist with no flowers. You're out of luck if you die. And a bank with no money to loan. A jail with no bars. A saloon with no beer. This town ain't got much but its home. I'm proud to call this town my home. Now,